Module 5, Lesson 14's objective is to place fractions on a number line with endpoints 0 and 1. Item 2 says, Carter needs to wrap 7 presents. He lays the ribbon out flat and says, if I make 6 equally spaced cuts, I'll have just enough pieces. I can use 1 piece for each package, and I won't have any pieces left over. Does he have enough pieces to wrap all the presents? Let's underline the important details. He needs to wrap 7 presents. He lays the ribbon out flat. He will make 6 equally spaced cuts and have just enough pieces. He will use 1 piece for each package. He won't have any pieces left over. Now let's highlight the question. Does he have enough pieces to wrap all the presents? Now that we've read the problem 2 times, underline the important details, and highlighted the question, we can begin drawing. Let's go ahead and draw a piece of ribbon that looks like it's laid out flat. Let's go ahead and make 6 equally spaced cuts. We'll do that by drawing a line in each place that Carter would make a cut. 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts, 4 cuts, 5 cuts, 6 cuts. That last one doesn't look as if it's equally spaced, so I think I'll try my cuts again and erase the lines that I've just drawn. Let's try it again. 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts, 4 cuts, 5 cuts, 6 cuts. I think that's a little bit better. Okay, now, if I made 6 cuts, will there be enough pieces of ribbon to wrap 7 presents? Let's see. Here's 1 piece of ribbon, 2 pieces of ribbon, 3 pieces of ribbon, 4 pieces of ribbon, 5 pieces of ribbon, 6 pieces of ribbon, 7 pieces of ribbon. He said in the story that he would have just enough and not have any pieces left over. As you can see by me marking each piece of ribbon, there are no pieces of ribbon left over. So let's answer the question. Does he have enough pieces to wrap all the presents? Yes. I better make a capital Y. Yes. Carter has enough ribbon to wrap all the presents. Remember, when there's a story or word problem, we read, draw, and write so our teacher knows how we got the answer. Item 3. Mrs. Rivera is planting flowers in her 1 meter long rectangular plant box. She divides the plant box into sections 1/9 meter in length and plants 1 seed in each section. Draw and label a fraction strip representing the plant box from 0 meters to 1 meter. Represent each section where Mrs. Rivera will plant a seed. Label all the fractions. Let's underline the important details. 1 meter long rectangular plant box divides the plant box into sections 1/9 meter in length. 1 seed in each section. We need to draw and label a fraction strip representing the plant box from 0 meters to 1 meter. Represent each section where Mrs. Rivera will plant a seed. Label all the fractions. Let's go ahead and begin by drawing the 1 meter long rectangular plant box. Let's now divide the plant box into sections that are 1 meter in length. The sections are 1/9 of a meter in length. That means that I need to make sure there are 9 sections in my rectangular plant box, since there's a 9 on the bottom of that fraction. I think I can do a better job than that by making my lines more equally spaced. Now, let's make sure that we draw and label the fraction strip. We know that it has to be labeled from 0 meters to 1 meter. And we need to label each of the fractions. But before we do that, we better make sure that there are 9 portions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'll go ahead and label the fraction strip. Each one of these portions is 1/9 of the whole. Now, let's make sure I've done everything that I've underlined. I've drawn a 1 meter long rectangular plant box. I've divided the plant box into sections that are 1/9 meter in length. She will plant 1 seed in each of those sections. I've drawn and labeled a fraction strip representing the plant box from 0 meters to 1 meter. And I've represented each section where Mrs. Rivera will plant a seed and labeled all the fractions that would be 1/9 in meter in length. How many seeds will she be able to plant in one plant box? Now remember, she will plant 1 seed in each section. 1 seed in each section. So you count up how many sections there are in the picture above that you've drawn and answer this question. She will be able to plant blank seeds in 1 plant box. After you figure out how many seeds she can plant In that one plant box that we drew, you put the number on that line. Remember, we read, draw, and write to answer the questions. Item B says, how many seeds will she be able to plant in 4 plant boxes? So you will go ahead and draw 4 of those plant boxes right next to each other. You divide them into the 1/9 meter partitions, just like we did in the first one, and then count up all of the spaces so that you will know how many seeds you will be able to plant in 4 plant boxes. She will be able to plant blank seeds in 4 plant boxes. Remember, I've not divided each of my 4 plant boxes into 1/9 meter areas. That's up to you to do, and then count. Item C says, draw a number line below your fraction strip and mark all the fractions. Well, I've drawn my fraction strip above, so I'll go ahead and draw the number line here. Let me try that again. I'll draw a little hash mark in each place that I drew a line in my fraction strip, and I'll label the fraction strip with with all the fractions. 1/9, 2/9, 3/9, 4/9, and so on. Remember that 0 is 0/9. I'm going to let you finish labeling that number line. And don't forget, you need to label the fraction for 1 whole. And I'm going to make this a bigger one so it doesn't get confused for a hash mark. Remember, 1 whole would be all of the 9ths. So how many 9ths are in 1 whole? And I'm just going to go ahead and draw an arrow here so my teacher knows to look up here for my answer. All right, the rest is up to you. Good luck.